the Weekend Mobile and I went out to the river for another weekend adventure.
Hey, how's it going today? You know, I thought I would take the Weekend Mobile out for another spin.
Because of the road closures in the area, I was using the cell phone GPS to help navigate.
Take a sharp right turn onto Indian Pass Road. In 15 miles, prepare to park your car near Indian Pass Road. You will need to walk to your destination from there.
Hey, Surrey, we have four-wheel drive. We're not walking anywhere. We got the Weekend Mobile today.
In 15 miles, prepare to park your car near Indian Pass Road. You will need to walk to your destination from there.
Back in the mid-70s, when we first came out here, I came out here at night with my buddy Wayne, and he'd said, well, he'd been out here when he was 12 years old with his parents, and now we're 20, 21 years old, and it's pitch dark out there. We're the only ones out here towing a trailer, and I kept telling Wayne, you gotta be crazy. There can't be water out here. He kept saying, I know there is, keep driving, and it seemed like we drove for hours and hours and hours. Of course, we didn't have GPS back then, and it was dark, but we finally did make it. And it is some pretty rough and hairy roads. This first part does take some four-wheel drive to get down into the gullies and such. Just like back then in the 70s, finally we came upon the campground. However, it's much different, very, very much improved since when we first came. There was nothing there. It was just a spot of dirt. In fact, sometimes when we were camping with our cars there, it would flood out and we'd be in the water. It was really, really rough back then, and nobody went out there. Now it's a good travel destination. After I had lunch here, I spent about an hour here, took a little dip in the water. It was pretty cold, pretty windy. I got back on the road, and along the way there's all kinds of interesting sights to see. We have old miners' shacks. I don't know how old this one was because it had an electric box in there, and a memorial to our military veterans. And then I got up on a bluff, and I looked out down the river, and there was like 20 or 25 boats all rafted up together. And at first I thought maybe it was some religious group, but then I saw mass quantities of nudity going on, so obviously it wasn't a religious ceremony. After viewing the antics on the sandbar there for about 15-20 minutes, I got back on the road, and about 8 miles later came to Picacho Campground. Not sure if I'm going to stay overnight. I'm going to the Picacho State Recreation Campground. Basically, it's a campground right next to the Colorado River on the California side, just north of Yuma, Arizona, and Winter Haven, California. It goes up quite a while, probably about 10 or 12 miles up. And I'm going to cruise through some of the campsites in four-wheel drive and probably take a couple of dips in the river. But because I don't know if I'm going to be staying overnight, let me show you what I'm packing. I'm kind of packing old school, how we used to do it, because we like to say because it was old school. It's because we didn't have any dough. So we packed light, and that's what I'm packing today. Clothes, because I don't know if I'm staying overnight. Basically what I've got is a long sleeve t-shirt and some swimming trunks, because out here
we pretty much go commando all the time. Commando means no underwear. Got a tent. Don't think I'll use it. Bringing it just in case, though. I don't want to get killed by mosquitoes. Usually don't use it. I usually just sleep in the back of the vehicle. And an air pad just to sleep on that. Like I said, I don't know if I'm staying overnight. And for food, a simple cooler chest. I got a bunch of water, one energy drink, which is a Dr. Pepper. Got marshmallows, package of Hebrew National hot dogs, hot dog buns, a couple of apples, and a couple of energy bars. And for utensils, what I've got is all I need. Got a little bit of firewood. Put a couple of dogs on this. And then for dessert, have a couple of marshmallows. Yeah, man, I'm set.
As I was heading out of camp, I took another road that I usually don't take, and it took me to the stamp mill, the old stamp mill, where they used to stamp and engrave the dates into the gold and silver bars that they mined in the area. I'll show you that on another video. And you'll also learn why you don't try to film while on a narrow road with drop-offs on both sides, driving a four-wheel drive vehicle with a manual shift.